Did you know not all Australian dividends are created equal? Indeed, many Australian dividends come with something called franking credits. Franking credits can boost the value of your dividends because they are not subject to the same taxation rules as a normal, unfranked dividend. Franking credits arise as part of the imputation system. To get a better idea of what franking credits and the imputation system can do for you, let's use an example. Let's say you're the sole shareholder in a fictitious company which has just posted a profit before tax of $100. Given that the Australian corporate tax rate is 30%, your company would be required to pay $30 to the Australian Tax Office or ATO. The remaining $70 would be net profit available to shareholders, such as yourself. Ordinarily, if a company decided to pay out all of its profit to shareholders, that is, you would be required to pay tax on the $70. However, franking credits were introduced to stop double dipping by the ATO. In other words, as a shareholder or owner of the company, you've already paid 30% corporate tax, so it isn't necessarily fair to tax you again at your marginal tax rate. So the ATO allowed companies to generate franking credits which can be distributed to shareholders. Subject to certain eligibility requirements set down by the ATO, in our example, hypothetically, if your marginal tax rate was, say, 10%, you'd be entitled to not only the full $70 dividend, but also $20 in franking credits. That is, 30% tax already paid minus 10% you must pay equals 20%, or in our case, $20. So, come tax reporting time, you could be entitled to a $20 refund thanks to your franking credits. It's important to note, however, that if your personal income tax rate is above the corporate tax rate of 30%, you may still be required to pay tax on your dividend. In addition, not every company listed on the Australian Securities Exchange pays fully franked dividends, and even if they do, they may not always have enough franking credits available to distribute them to shareholders. There are also certain eligibility requirements which must be met before franking credits can be paid. These can be found on the ATO's website. Before making any investment decision or taxation decision, you should always seek the advice of a licensed and trustworthy professional. This tutorial was provided for educational purposes only, and the information included is factual in nature and should not be relied upon.